Hello and welcome. I'm a hotel AI expert, and I'm really pleased to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to your online learning journey. Today, we're diving into something absolutely critical, building the blueprint for profitability by mastering your F&B inventory management system. If you get this right, you protect your profit. But if you get it wrong, well, your bottom line is already hurting before a single plate even leaves the kitchen.
Now, take a second to really let that sink in. This isn't just some nice quote. It's the absolute bedrock of financial control in food and beverage. Everything, and I mean everything, from your P&L statements to your menu engineering, it all relies on the data that starts right here. If your system has flaws, everything that comes after it will be wrong. It has to be the source of truth for your hotel's financial health.
So here's how we're going to break it down. We'll walk through this in 5 clear stages. We'll start with the why, the big financial reason this matters so much. Then we'll get into building the system, making sure it's accurate, prepping your physical space, and finally, cementing all of this as an absolute non-negotiable standard of excellence.
Okay, let's dive right in. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of how to build a system, we have to understand what's at stake. In hospitality, managing costs is everything. And there's one particular cost that, frankly, demands our complete and total focus. Right after labor, your cost of goods sold, or COGS as you'll always hear it, is your biggest expense. And this isn't just some abstract accounting term. It's the real, tangible cost of the salmon on the plate and the wine in the glass. So mastering control of your COGS with this solid inventory management system, or IMS, isn't just good practice. It is the fundamental engine that drives your profitability. So what is this system really? Well, think of it as the central nervous system for your entire inventory. It's the tech that connects the dots, tracking every single item from the moment you order it to the second it's sold to a guest. A well-configured IMS gives you that real-time visibility you need to make smart decisions, slash waste, and protect that bottom line. All right, let's get practical and talk about how to build this thing. Setting up your system correctly from day one is, you guessed it, absolutely critical. This is where being meticulous, where paying attention to every little detail prevents massive headaches and, huge financial losses down the road. This is the digital architecture of your entire F&B world. First things first, you have to digitally map every single physical storage location, every cellar, every walk-in, every dry storeroom. Then, every item gets its own unique code, a SKU. Now, step 3 here is so important, defining units of measure. Think about it. You might buy flour by the 25-kilogram bag, but your recipes call for it in 100-gram increments. Your system has to be smart enough to make that conversion perfectly. Finally, you lock down security and preload your par levels to automate ordering. Your digital system has to be a perfect twin of your physical reality. So our digital foundation is built. Now it's time for its first, and honestly, its most important stress test. This next procedure is where that pristine digital world collides with the messy physical reality of your loading dock. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this is the most important daily financial control in the whole process. It's called the 3-way match. This is a non-negotiable. It's a checkpoint for every single delivery that arrives at your hotel. It is a beautifully simple but incredibly powerful procedure to make sure you are only paying for exactly what you ordered and exactly what you receive. And this table just lays it out perfectly. You have the purchase order, that's what your chef wanted, the vendor invoice, that's what the supplier is trying to charge you for, and the physical goods received report, that's what your team actually counted on the truck. All 3, the quantity, the quality, and the price, have to match perfectly. If you ordered 10 cases of prime beef, got billed for 10, but only 9 showed up, that's a mismatch you solve right there on the spot. So here's the crucial point. Failing to do this check isn't just some minor clerical error. It is a direct leak in your profitability. It means you're paying for stuff you never even got, or for products that weren't up to your standards. This is where profit just evaporates before an ingredient even sees a shelf. The outcome is really black and white. When everything matches up, great. The invoice is approved, your digital inventory gets updated, and financial control is maintained. But the second a discrepancy is found, the whole process stops. The invoice gets disputed immediately, you sort it out with the vendor before any money changes hands, and just like that, financial loss is prevented. Okay, we've made sure that what's coming in the door is accurate. Now we have to make sure the place where we store it has just as much integrity. You can have the most accurate digital system in the world, but it's useless if your physical storerooms are chaotic, unsafe, or insecure. The two have to be in perfect harmony. And that means putting some rigorous best practices in place. First in, first out, or FIFO, is key to making sure older stock gets used first, which cuts down on spoilage. Clear labeling prevents people from grabbing the wrong expensive thing. Monitored temperature logs, that's not just good practice, it's essential for food safety. And of course, strict security, like locked liquor cages, protects those high-value assets from theft. Every one of these steps protects the physical stuff that your digital system is tracking so carefully.
So we've arrived at our final section, and I really want to frame everything we've talked about not as a series of boring tasks, but as a mindset, because mastering this process, well, it's a defining characteristic that separates the average operators from the true leaders in hospitality.
You know, all those management theories you're studying right now, financial accounting, operations management, quality control, they all come together right here. This disciplined, systematic approach to inventory is the real-world application of your education. It's where the stuff you learn in the classroom becomes tangible, profitable results on the floor. So, as future leaders, let's recap the big points. Your IMS is your #1 tool for controlling COGS. Precision at the very beginning prevents loss at the very end. The three-way match is your daily financial armor. Your storerooms has to be as organized as your software. And finally, this kind of discipline isn't just a good idea, it is a non-negotiable standard of excellence. So I want to leave you with this question to carry forward in your careers. As you step into leadership roles, always ask yourself, is the system I'm running built for precision, or is it quietly leaking profit? Because the answer, as we've seen today, could very well define your success.